Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Loch Briar Knits. I am your hostess, Kelly, and I am coming to you from a very overcast Nova Scotia, Canada. So there's a very good chance we may actually get a little sprinkling of rain today, which will be good considering the drought conditions and the fact that all of our grasses are turning brown if they haven't already. So I'm not going to complain about the rain for a change because I haven't seen it in a good long time. So it is September 18th, I think. So I have a couple of finished objects to show you, and I have a project that I have been putting off that I am going to tackle imminently. What did I do here? I feel like there's anyway. Not the first time I've had crazy hair. I have four projects to show you, two finished objects to show you, and another project, which is the project I've been putting off, that I am going to tackle next once I finish another project. Let's get started. So obviously the first finished object is my Fletching sweater. Finally, oh my God. This thing gave me a run for my money for a simply knit sweater. This thing caused me grief after grief. If you watched the whip down in the project diaries, that goes into that takes you along for the journey, which was epic. Basically, I had the body done, and then I realized it was like 3 times too big, even though it was the size I did on another one of her sweaters, which was basically the same construction, just more or less. And so I went down 2 sizes, which is what this one is, and that worked out perfect. And then I knit the sleeves and decided I was going to just do straight sleeves, and then I got one fully done, and it was way too big. It was like too big. So I frogged that, reknit it, doing the decreases, and then everything was fine. And then I went on to this, and then I was done. For a simple sweater that I probably should have been able to bang out in about 2 weeks. Yeah. This was just one catastrophe after another, but I don't have a lot of room here, but there you go. And all's good. The sleeves are the perfect length. I actually, for once, managed to get my sleeves exactly the length I want them. It hits exactly where I like, kind of right on my hip bone, and it fits. I can't fit 3 of me in it, which is always nice. And yeah, it's done. Yay. So the other finished object is my long, languishing nomadic yarn self-striping Christmas socks. These have been on the needles for, was it last Christmas or was it the Christmas before that? No, I think it was last Christmas. So my plan was to kind of knit them over the Christmas holidays, and that didn't happen. I think I had this much done. This is on the yak base. And you know, this is probably good. I've been wearing them, so there's probably dog hair on them. But there we go. So that's the color scheme, and I love the yak base on these socks because, and I did that with the last pair I had as well. I just love how it deepens and mutes the color in a way that if it's on the regular sock base, I have the hiccups now. Then I don't know, it just gives it a depth that I really, really like, is what I'm trying to say. Those are done. This is done. I keep wanting to hit this, but I got my microphone there, so I'm really trying not to do that. There is another finished object. So this was one of the yarns that I got at the Jador Variety Store, which is just out by the Schooner House, out by our cottage. It's just sort of like the idea of a dollar store, I guess, but they've got everything in there, but they carry these really great sock yarns. Like they've got a bunch of Croy sock, they've got a wall of Briggs and Little, and then they get this other stuff that I honestly have not seen anywhere else. But this is Wool Addicts. And I think it's a German. Oh, it's by Lang Yarns. My stepson and his lovely girlfriend, who I absolutely adore, sweetest girl. I thought, oh, there's somebody else to knit for Christmas. I made her a little bit of an extra long Sophie scarf. So most of the time, I've got like rogue hair here. Most of the time when I do a Sophie scarf, I use my leftover sock yarn. So I just do it in fingering weight because I like how easily it goes around my neck and it's still really warm. Like it's not overpoweringly warm. You don't overheat is what I'm saying. So I'm just going to pop this off for a second. Stick it down there. Okay, so. And this color is just going to go. She was born in Wales and she's got like the perfect complexion and this lovely blonde hair. And this is just going to look so nice. So anyway, that's my other finished outfit. I've been doing, trying to do weekly updates for the shop. I'm the hand dyer behind Loch Briar Knits. The shop's on Etsy and the links are below if you're interested. But I have been trying to do one dye a week. I have a really small space to work in, so I usually do like 1 or 2 dyes at a time because that's all I have room for. So I'm trying to kind of restock the shop one colorway at a time. I've got my October one and I have redone Rotten Pumpkins, which I have not done in quite some time. So I have it in the 3 bases. So it's in the 75-25 sock, the 80-20 cashmere sock, and the BFL sock. So this is. So I haven't done this one for, I'm going to say, 2 to 3 years. It's a little more labor intensive just because it's got so many layers to it. So that kind of get my face out of the way. So that's going in the shop probably by Friday. Let's get into, I'm going to leave that for last. Let's just get into what's I got on the go. I still have a lot of socks to do for Christmas. So my plan was when I retired, which I retired back in March for anybody who's new. My plan was, because I no longer have an income, I was going to knit socks for everybody for Christmas, which I thought, okay, well, that's not going to be too hard. I'll start early. And I did. And I started in probably March, which is when I retired. Then I was like, oh, I can just like work away at it all year. And I did. And I've got, I would say half of them done, but I still have the guys to do. And they're the ones with the big feet, except for my dad and my brother have like kind of smaller feet for guys. But 2 of my nephews have big feet. And I have to find out the sizes of my other 2, but I'm hoping they just have normal sized feet. Anyway, I still have 2, 4, 6. Oh, and my brother-in-law who says he wants his Briggs and Little. I love the look of the Briggs and Little sock. I hate knitting it because I find it really hard on my hands. But he wants his Briggs and Little wool sock. So I've got to do that one. He too has fairly big feet. What I'm going to do is I am actually going to knit it in a larger size needle because it's bigger. But I'm going to knit it on the same stitch count that I would do for mine if I were doing like fingering weight, which I believe is what I did the last time. So it should be fine and fit him. I might cast that on next and just sort of pick away at it bit by bit, just because where it's hard on my hands, I'm gonna have to take more breaks. I think what I'm going to do is I have 2 of the green color and I have 1 of the red. So I'm going to use the red for the cuff and the toes. And then I'm going to use the green in the middle. So these ones are going to be for my dad. This is a Croix sock. This is the Adrift colorway. And thankfully my dad has small feet. Thank you, Dad. So this is going, I have his stocking this year. We usually exchange names, the adults exchange names, and then the kids exchange names, and then we fill whoever stocking we get, we fill it up, and then when we get together for Christmas dinner, we open the stockings together, and then we draw for the next year. So we have all year prepare. So I have no excuse. So this year I have my dad, which is easy because all the man wants is books, but he also likes hand knit socks. That's what he's mostly getting. I'll throw some food in there for him too. That's the Adrift. This one is one of my other colorways that's in the shop, Autumn in Nova Scotia. That's the what's left of the ball. And I'm doing a musselburgh hat. What I'm trying to do is to keep a skein behind for myself and then knit something that kind of shows off the colorway so I can put that sample in the shop with the listing just to give people an idea. So this is, I'm just doing up a musselburgh hat. I still have, there, I have this. So from here, yeah, like I still have like about that much left to go. But I love the colors in it. I love how it's it's just, it's fall in Nova Scotia, right? What can you say? It's beautiful. Can I say that about my own yarn? That is a work in progress that I'm hoping, that was left over from my last musselburgh hat. This is my musselburgh hat bag, apparently. This is not one of my yarns. This was Fleece Artist in the Nunavut Park, which I can't remember the name of, but if you ever get a chance to pick up their park, any of their yarn, really, their yarn is beautiful. I've been using that a lot as car knitting. But yeah, I do have another pair of socks to go, but I haven't been working on them, so I think they're exactly where they were the last time. That was it was a German brand. It was the self-striping in the green, shades of green. This is my new colorway prior to the one I just did. This is one of my favorite colorways that I dye. It's Smoke and Mirrors, so it's like grays, black, white, some white base left, and I just love how this knits up. So this time what I'm doing is I'm doubling it. So I've just kind of taken this from the middle, and there we go. And then I'm doubling it and knitting a DK weight Sophie scarf. This one's going to be for me. And then also it'll serve as a sample. So I love this colorway. And I find the musselburgh hat and the Sophie scarf are like my 2 go-tos, really, any hat. But the musselburgh hat I like because you can just go for the longest time knitting a tube. It takes a little longer than your average hat, but I love the double layer, which winter in Nova Scotia you need. So yeah, so that's that. So those are the 2 that are I'm making for myself and also for shop samples. That brings us to the new sweater cast on. So I knew I had a lot of small projects on the go, and I'm going to have socks on the go for the next, between now and Christmas. I've got the 2 samples for the shop, and then I've also got to knit a sample up with the pumpkin. I'm not sure what. I might actually do a pair of socks for those. Another pair of socks. Or no, yeah, I think I might because the other ones I've got a scarf, I've got a hat, so yeah, I'll do a sock. I thought, okay, well, I want to cast on a sweater because I've got a ton of sweaters quantity. I mean, like all of these, and I don't know if you can see, and this pile here, and then stuff downstairs. The majority of it is sweaters quantity yarn. So I gotta get going. I gotta get some sweaters knit. I thought I wanted it to be easy, but I also wanted it to be something that'll knit up fast. And I've been wanting to knit another Felix sweater because I love my Felix sweater. I'll put it down here. Christoffers? Put it down here. I'm blanking. I did get this started. What I remembered was it takes me a little while. I normally knit with, I usually go from like 2mm up to 4.5. That's sort of my comfort zone. And the Felix is knit on 6mm, which at first I find really clunky in my hands. So it takes me a little bit to get used to it, but I've managed. I have powered through. Now, this isn't going to show up very well because I've got it on kind of a narrow needle. Let me see if I can find a little spot here with the raglan increases, little detail. So this is where I'm at here. I'm still kind of doing the raglan increases. So it's showing up, I think, a little lighter. Oh no, maybe right there. That's a good true color. So I am knitting this out of yarn that I got for Christmas last year, and it is Altiplano worsted weight by Knit Picks, and this is the oh good lord, Harango. This is it all caked up in all its glory. It's a worsted weight, but it feels a little heavier, and I know that the sweater I think calls for an Aran weight, but my other one I did was in Cascade 220, which is, I find, rides the line between a worsted and oh wow, that just went right at Aran. Aran weight, and I feel that this does the same thing, but I do like the gauge that I'm getting. Did I gauge swatch? No, I didn't. Do I ever gauge swatch? No, I don't. Hang on. Oh, there we go. So I do like how that's knitting up. And I just started that because this is one thing I also love about the Felix sweater is because it's a thicker weight, it knits up fast, and it's a simple knit. Like, it's a simple knit. So you're not doing any like crazy design acrobatics or anything. It's the only thing you need to watch really is to make sure you get your little things here all properly aligned. And so far I think I've managed to do that. I think I have to do one more little of these triangular raglan increases, which is just, I think, I just have to do another 8 rows, and then I think I'm ready to split for the sleeves, and then it's Body Island. So that's awesome. This is in another one of my loop bag. This is what the girls at the Loop gave me for my retirement because I had been ogling it in the shop. But I was telling myself, no, you're retiring. You can't afford to spend a bunch of money on fancy bags. But I do love it. Like, it's got all of the old kind of London streets. It's very lovely. That brings us to the project that I am determined to tackle. So I would not this summer, but I think it was the summer before that. If not, it was the summer before that. In which case, get her done, Kelly. Get her done. I went to the Mariner's Daughter in Lunenburg. I usually make at least one trip down there a year and lose my mind. So Amy Christoffers, she did a pattern, the Lunenburg pullover. So Lunenburg is where Mariner's Daughter is. And there was some affiliation with them. I think they provided the yarn, and the yarn was Lichen and Lace, who is, if you have been with me for any amount of time, you know, is one of my favorite hand dyers, and she's in New Brunswick. Amy was, I think they might have given her yarn support. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a colorwork sweater, and it's called the Lunenburg Pullover. And Amanda over at Sweet Skein of Mine just showed her finished version. I think it was on her last episode, and I was like, oh, I can't put this off anymore. So here it is. Like, look at that. It's gorgeous. Look at the color work in that. To date, the most color work I have done is kind of one-on-one. Main color, contrasting color. So this is going to be a challenge, but you know, I'm up for it. And there's enough yarn in here in the kits to make sizes 1 to 5. I'll probably have some leftovers, but here is what the main body will be. And the main body is in Briggs and Little, which is it's in the sport weight. So that's not going to be a problem. Like, I know I was complaining about the stuff down there, but that's in the worsted weight, and maybe even an Aran weight. I don't know, but it's heavy, and it's harder. And it is in the colorway dark gray. Look at that. Oh, and Briggs and Little is also from New Brunswick. And I do believe Briggs and Little might be the supplier that Lichen and Lace uses, which would make sense since local. Why not? But yeah, look at that color. Oh my God, I love that color. If you've been with me for any amount of time, you know I love the color gray in all of its shades. So I have that. That's the main color. And then I have the contrasting colors. And the light gray is from Briggs and Little as well. And let me guess, it's called sheep gray. So that's the light gray. These are the other contrasting colors, which are from Lichen Lace. So this is Shrub. And again, if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know this is a color I love. This is Sky. Focusing, there we go. And then this one is Pollen. Oh, I love this color too. Is that focusing? I think it's focusing. Anyway, so here you have it. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this is basically what I'll be knitting. These are all the colors. I am going to start this as soon as I finish the Felix sweater. But I also want to get all of the Christmas knits out of the way as well. And I know when I get started on this, it's going to take all of my attention because I'm going to have to pay attention. Because yeah. I'm a little, and by a little I mean a lot, intimidated by the color work in this, but one stitch at a time, right? But I do want to be able to focus on that and not spend, I don't want my attention to be sort of half on that and then half on, 6 other projects. Or I don't want to set it aside because I have to focus on the Christmas stuff to get it done and then go back and then try to figure out where I was and just mess it up that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start that once I get this other stuff out of the way. I'm just looking, I've got some other bags here. I don't know what's in this one. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Sorry, I forgot one. I also started knitting up. So I also started knitting up the other new colorway in the shop, Earth. So I'm just kind of getting started on that one. So there's still some of that in the shop. Yeah, so I've got a lot of socks in the go. I got a lot of socks, a lot of Christmas stuff I have to get done. The Felix sweater to finish, the muscle bear hat to finish, and the DK weight Sophie scarf. So I feel like I got a lot in the go. So I'm not going to start the Lunenburg pullover until I can give it my full attention. That's where we're at. I think that is all that is going on. Oh, I did join. I can't remember if I mentioned this last time. I don't think I did. I joined a knitting group that meets down at one of the libraries close to me. And I've gone twice now and I really enjoy it. It's like every Tuesday, it's from like 1 to 3. So I just go down and I hang out with people sitting around a table knitting and chatting, which for somebody who has been working from home for like the last year and a half of when I was working and then being retired and being home most of the day, except for that, 2 hours I go down to the coffee shop to work on my book, is it's a nice change. I'm an introvert, but I'm an extroverted introvert. I've learned that I do need to engage with people or I start to get a bit squirrely and talking to myself, and then I'm pretty sure the dog's getting sick of me. So so it's really nice to get out, and there's no pressure. It's not like I have to sit there and make conversation. We're all knitting. And so you've got a common thing to talk about. You've got something to work on when you're not talking. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I really enjoy it. I actually enjoyed it more than I even thought I was going to enjoy it. So I'm really glad I did that. There's also another one at the library that's even closer to me. We have two libraries. One's like about 5 minutes away, and one's like probably a minute and a half away. And I've been going to the one that's a little further away just because the timing of it works a bit better for me. If I find that there's a day I can't get down there because it's on alternating days, the one I go to is every Tuesday. And then I think the one at the other library is every second Monday or every second Wednesday. I forget. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. I feel now that I've shown you what I'm doing, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by how much I have to get done before Christmas. So I am going to let you guys go, and then I'm going to get started on what I got to get done. I hope you guys have all of your knits well in hand and you're not quite as inundated as I feel I am right now. I'll see you guys probably. We'll have the September vlog coming up in about another week. And then I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the next project diaries. I have a feeling I may make it the Lunenburg pullover, but I might do a smaller project in between that. And I was thinking that what that might be is either the Harlow hat, or yeah, I think it was the Harlow hat, or is there a Harlow cowl? Anyway, I had told myself I was going to learn how to do brioche, and I was going to take a small project like that. So I think that might be the project diaries I do, learning that before I start doing that, which I think will also be a project diary because I think I may want to log that. So that journey of what that's going to be, watch it be simple. Watch it be like super simple. Anyway, so that's what's coming up. And for now, I will let you guys go and get this edited and up, and I will see you soon. Bye.